Well, hello, I'm here with Follow Your Dreams. Hi, lovely people.
Hello.
Are you enjoying MPF so far?
Yeah.
It's been great. It's
Been great?
painful.
It's only the second day.
It's the third day for me.
Okay, yeah.
I started
You
on
went to the warm-up gig.
Well, I started on Thursday morning with a setup. So 10 a.m. we were here Thursday morning getting everything ready, and then right through.
You look fresh.
I know. I feel pretty
fresh.
good, to be fair.
You smell nice. Your hair
Thanks.
looks good.
I had a
It's all
shower this
good.
morning.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. I always think by the end of the festival, it's like, I've had a shower this morning and, done all that kind of thing. But by the end, it's like, I'm just going to put lipstick on and then no one will know that I smell. It's fine.
I mean, everyone smells by halfway through the day anyway. So.
God, yeah, in it. Especially now because it's nice and sunny.
Always
yeah,
sunny.
it is sunny at MPF always. It's brilliant. But yeah, so your sets later tonight. It's quite late, isn't it? But on the Woof app, I don't know. This must be a typo, but it says it's an hour and 40 minutes.
That's because the times go forward. So it's
Yes.
we lose an hour today, so it goes forward. People keep thinking we're going to be doing an hour and 40 minutes. I was like, no, we've got 45 minutes worth of songs, so no way. We can do the set twice, but I'll probably die.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I was like, that is a long one. There's lots of chat in between, but yeah, no, sick. That'll be good. And you guys have had a good couple of gigs recently. So you had one for International Women's Day at Signature Brew, and you've had Fish Stock. So how have they been?
Fish Stock was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah. We played in the basement at the Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a lovely venue, and it was rammed. And then, about 3/4 of the way through the set, I decided to stand in the crowd, and they lifted me up while I was trying to play a solo. Did my first crowd surf.
Oh, was that the first one?
Yeah.
First one with an instrument, or just first one
First
ever?
one, full stop.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a fucking...
How old are you?
Old queen, old.
Old enough to have crowd surfed. Like, you should have done it earlier.
Yeah, I normally stand at the side and admire the guitarist's pedals.
Yeah,
I don't normally
nice.
pit.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It was quite funny though, because he stood in the crowd with intent, like he wanted to be picked up, and then afterwards, like, I didn't expect that to happen. I was like, you literally backed into everybody. It's like you were looking to be picked up.
Trying to make some space.
And it was so your first crowd surf, and that was with an instrument during your gig. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And how was the International Women's Day gig? Was that good?
Oh yeah, it was really good. We've been to Sig Brew a few times now. I think we've done 3 or 4 years now. We played the very first one, and then we've been every year brewing the beers and kind of doing the tours and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always a good night, to be fair, and it was good. We made a brew this year. I tasted it actually on Thursday at North Bar. Yeah, it's tasty, really nice. It's not got a name at the moment as well, and I tried to name it, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Exciting.
Hopefully it's going to go for it, but we'll know.
Oh, nice. That's very cool.
It was good fun.
Yeah, nice, and a good warm up to MPF, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about. It's about celebrating women and celebrating the fact that we're getting into the month of MPF, so getting people a taster for what's to come and just promoting people, yeah.
Yeah. Sick. It was a really good lineup as well this year as well, because it was Midwich Cuckoos and Cheerbleeders and sick. So good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Everyone smashed it, didn't they, as well? Everyone was ace.
Yeah. Nice.
Loved it.
Nice. And obviously you guys are all very embedded in the DIY scene, and you've been doing Follow Your Dreams for a while now. So what do you think, and obviously you do MPF and stuff, and we've all got our own bits. What do you think separates the DIY scene from the rest of the punk scene? What makes it different?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually.
We can go round, we can have a think.
Yeah. I think when you say separate from the most of the scene, I think it's, I don't know, I feel like there's a real nice vibe of actually doing it yourself. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's a whole thing. MPF is Manchester Profit Fest, and we laugh about it now because it's actually none of us make any money off this. Everything that goes back into the festival. It's bigger than it was 5 years ago, but also the bands that we're getting are bigger now. And we are all doing it ourselves. We don't have sponsorship. We're all working full-time jobs and then doing this on top of it. And I think it's just about the core values, isn't it? It's about holding on to what you believe in, making a space for people, putting bands out there that people might not have seen before, and just having a laugh.
Yeah.
Everyone has a really nice time. It's great.
And I think as well, the fact that the core organisers also don't do it for profit and all goes back in, it completely reflects on everyone else that works here. So us and the clowns and the stilt walkers and everyone that's on the doors and stuff, it's we're all just doing it because we want to be here and have a nice time. And I think when when that's the bar that you set, it really gives a good example to everyone.
MPF is a good example of it because it's it is a real, like, everyone's helping out. Like, the whole festival runs through volunteers. You know, we've got, like, including stage managers, volunteers, we've got probably like 60 volunteers plus maybe. And like the festival could not run without those people. You know, people doing wristbands, people doing green room, people doing like band merch, stuff like that. Like it couldn't happen. Like the 8 of us could not put this on without them. So you know, it's like getting people involved and actually supporting what they love. Otherwise this wouldn't happen. And
it's even more amazing at the moment because obviously, like, it is a really hard time to be a creative and be putting events on and be a musician or a performer of any kind in the creative industry. Like, it's really fucking difficult, and it's also completely understandable if people don't have the capacity for that right now. But like, still, it's so beautiful to see that MPF's still, like, you know, fucking going. There's still loads of good gigs going on in Manchester. The DIY scene's still doing its bits, you know. Yeah.
Well, there are loads of cities with great DIY scenes, though, aren't they? Like Fishstock last week was fucking ace.
I mean, Bristol's crazy.
Yeah.
Bristol's fucking great.
That's like, we turned up and it was just friendly vibes straight away, you know? And I think that's just what you want to go somewhere that you can have fun, enjoy yourself and not be uncomfortable and like feel safe and feel welcomed. And I think that's more what it's about. And obviously the music's a nice little bonus.
It's pretty good. What about you guys? What do you think makes the DIY scene a bit different from other parts of the punk scene?
I think because the DIY scene is so reliant on everyone kind of chipping in and taking responsibility. Even the bands are there, like, everyone knows that, like, being a diva and like not allowing anyone to use your stuff and that kind of stuff is not really okay.
No.
But that in turn means that because everyone's kind of taking responsibility for what happens at the gigs and what happens in the scene in general, it's allowed us to create a bit more of have a bit more kind of discretion over what goes on. And I think, like, especially the last couple of years, there's been much more effort to kind of stamp out shitty behaviour and really, like, try and make the scene and the spaces that we kind of occupy more welcoming and less of a sausage fest. Like Ian here, like, puts on amazing gigs and they are fully...
puts on a lot of sausage fest.
Eyeballed.
See right through you.
Not you, Andy.
Go on, finish what you were saying. Can't leave it on that. Ian puts on sausage fest and then we're done.
But like the gigs that Ian puts on and like MPF and a lot of the other kind of gigs around Manchester.
And Riot Garden.
There's so much more,
Thank
especially
you.
Riot Garden.
Thank you.
There's so much more, like, now we're seeing so many more women at shows, much more kind of queer representation, much more trans, and that is a massive testament because for a long time, like, I've been in bands since like, I didn't want to think that through. I've been in bands since like 1997, and it's always been the same white guys kind of dominating these kinds of spaces. And I think the DIY scene's come into its own a bit more in terms of building that kind of focus on not even allowing, but encouraging and kind of celebrating the otherness that is very central to what punk is.
Yeah. I think something that's also become quite a big thing in the DIY scene in the last few years is it more being encouraged, because I think one of the issues was ignorance and passiveness, so people being like, I'm not part of the problem, so I just won't do anything. And actually, like, it's only it's always a minority of people that are the abusers and the predators and, you know, whatever, everything in between. But actually, like, the issue comes when the majority don't say anything. And I think if everyone makes a bit more of an effort and thinks about how I can change to help and support, to create more diverse lineups and make women and trans people and people of colour feel more safe and represented, it's like everyone can do more. And it's not, and I think what's been really good in the DIY scene in the last couple of years that I've seen more is that people aren't taking the what can I do as an attack on themselves. It's more of, okay, I have the power to do something and I will, not that, oh, you're saying it's my fault, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more like thinking about, like, actually, you're not telling me I should be doing it, but actually, what could I do?
Yeah,
Thinking about it a little bit different.
Exactly.
Fucking dickhead, look at him.
Hi. Oh my God, that is precarious.
Try and drink your beer while you do it.
Yeah, go on, in one.
Neck it.
Yeah, do it.
I'm giving you for that cold, you bitch. I'm dying.
Bye, big hands. Oh, the clowns are
I
here.
think this is what is important. I think you've hit the nail on the head, really, in the sense that, like, you know, by being that person, seeing things going on that's not okay, but not actually doing anything about it, you inadvertently become part of the problem.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because you're not standing up and looking after that person, all these, you know, those people in those situations. And I think we all just need to take a step back and think, actually, could I have done something to be a bit better in that situation? And I think that's the way we should look at it anyway.
And the first bit is the hardest bit of realising that. And actually, if you keep making the steps to look for signs of trying to diversify things and keep your eye on people that are a bit more vulnerable and whatever, it's like we all just need to do a little bit, and it would be so much easier, because then it wouldn't just be, you know, fucking menstrual cramps and petrol girls shouting about it. It should be fucking everyone, and then it doesn't feel like such a statement. It's just the norm.
It's just normal, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and
I think it's important as well to remember that, you know, everything is a bit of a learning curve as well. Like, I think every day people are understanding more about situations. They're getting a better understanding of, like, different scenarios and things like that, and trying to be better. And I think, you know, as a scene, we should be encouraging those people to learn as well.
Definitely. Because you can't help where you've come from and what your background is, but when you're in a scene like this, I think it was how I learned a lot of stuff, was coming to Manchester Punk Festival and going to DIY gigs and stuff like that. Is like, you know, it is a space to learn, you know, and a space to bring people in. Ian, do you have anything to add about you know, why the DIY scene's sick?
I guess one of the things from putting my own shows on is it feels very rewarding to kind of nurture aspects of the scene that maybe don't get looked at as closely as other people. So being able to see those kinds of acts grow, develop, and progress is just very, very satisfying and vicariously, and it's lovely to see. I love all of that.
Oh,
A little bit of your other side came out then, huh?
I beg your pardon. Yeah, I was in makeup for 12 hours yesterday. I was yes, she's a salty drag queen, and she's very, very hungover today.
Oh my dear, you look great though. You're all good. The sunnies work. It's very nice. It's very nice.
Multitude of sins.
Nice. I mean, we've touched on it a little bit, but my next question was going to be is, what do you think the DIY scene still has to tackle? Is there anything that you still think needs to be changed?
I think a big thing in terms of inclusion is, because obviously we're so reliant on existing venues because, like, none of us have the money to build our own grassroots venues. And rents are so high that it's just not, like, feasible. And a lot of those venues, because of them being cheap, essentially, are absolutely not accessible, especially for things like wheelchairs.
Oh God, I know.
The amount of stairs involved in punk gigs is insane. And I think that's a really big issue that we need to kind of think through a bit more. Like, obviously places like the Union where there's lifts is great, but when you're playing in kind of like Atma where we do a lot of stuff.
Oh God, man.
Stairs.
Like, you know, trying to figure out the accessibility of all the venues, because obviously you want everybody to be included. You don't want people to not have to get into a venue because of it. But some venues just aren't equipped.
No, especially in Manchester, it's something that we found really difficult when we've been putting our gigs on, because the thing is, the venues that are affordable for us as a little DIY collective are the ones that aren't accessible, but also, like, you know, people that have disabilities or whatever shouldn't not be able to go to small gigs. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, there are some good. There's like, obviously the Union's big, and then Bread Shed, which is big, and then there's Partisan Collective, which is a great kind of queer-run venue in Manchester as well. So there are some good ones, but the majority are just it's really, really not good enough. Yeah, so I think that's a good point. Yeah.
And I think that's the conversations you can have with the venues as well, though. Is like, how can you make the venues more accessible to people? Like, because, you know, obviously there's like Zombie Shack, you ain't gonna put a ramp up there, you know what I mean? Like, to get somebody in, but you know, there are potentials that the venues themselves can think about and, like, try and understand how they can improve.
Yeah, and I also think one of the things that, because sometimes venues and venue promoters are not very helpful, and you've just got to fucking deal with what you're doing. Some of the and obviously as well, disabilities aren't just you being in a wheelchair. There are lots of different disabilities that aren't necessarily affected by stairs or whatever. It's more about making your space feel accessible to people with neurodivergencies and disabilities, so like having earplugs or places to sit, you know, Also, personal assistance tickets, I think, is something that should be introduced more across the board, so that, you know, if a person feels like that they can't attend an event without a companion, then they get a free ticket. And that's, you know, it's just, there's little ways, because obviously we can't just fucking knock a set of stairs down in all the venues and put a ramp in, but it's what you can do as the promoter to make the space feel welcoming as much as you can.
Exactly, and that's what you need to do. You need to try and make sure that you're not isolating anybody.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else that you feel like needs to be tackled in the DIY scene still?
I think in terms of race as well, like it's very obvious, like just walking around MPF, it's, while there's a few kind of non-white faces around, it's still very much a white thing. And like, I remember like about a decade ago, a lot of the promoters were saying, well, like the reason that there aren't many women at our shows is just that women don't really like punk, and like that obviously that is not the case. And
I do as well.
but I think that, so the same argument gets trotted out in terms of like black and Asian communities, that they're just not interested in this kind of stuff. And again, it's bullshit, but obviously there are other things that we can address to make it more inclusive. And what's really great about the scene at the moment is that it's got a lot more interesting in terms of music, and like it's much less kind of 77 punk. There's much more interesting
Thank
stuff.
fuck.
Like Risky and the Ridicule and that kind of stuff, and Icarus, who played last night. So yeah, I think something that we should be doing, especially in Manchester and some of the other bigger cities, is making more connections with those other scenes that are around, because there's with Toki Horror kind of blending like jungle and drum and bass with punk. I'd like to see more of that, because I think it'd help to kind of cross over a bit.
And I think as well with in terms of diversity in lineups in general, it's kind of a chicken and egg thing, isn't it? Because it's like people, you know, trans people, women, people of colour, whatever, will come to shows if they see people like themselves on the stage. But if that's not available, you know, sometimes there aren't as many bands that are like that, or it's difficult to try and get the diversity up or whatever, and it's because there aren't people like them on stage. It's a difficult balance. I mean, I very much don't think saying, you know, oh, women just don't like punk, or people from certain ethnic minorities don't like punk. It's not true at all. No. But it's very much about, you get a diverse audience by getting a diverse lineup, you know.
The amount of people I've spoken to, like just this year and last year, who've come with their friends, they're like, oh, I didn't really think I like punk, like, because they were expecting just Sham 69 all the way down. And then they've come with their mates and they've actually really enjoyed themselves. They found bands that they've kind of fallen in love with. That, like, we had that at Bristol. There are a couple of people there who were just there with friends and they didn't expect to enjoy any of it, but they fucking loved it. And having, like, it's making those, having a kind of a scene where people feel free to kind of dip in and like give it a try and see what's going on, because I think it's so hard with the way that punk is kind of represented in kind of popular culture. It's so hard for people to be like, I might actually enjoy this, because
it seems like an exclusive scene, but actually it's very much not. You know. Nice, cool. Well, yeah, just to move on from that a little bit, you guys have got quite a good few gigs coming up, and one of which is Levy Punk Weekender, which is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, I know it's going to be good. We're going to be there. More interviews going to be happening. It's going to be great. And you have teased of some possible new music. Is there anything being released anytime soon, or can you say anything?
Well, we're planning on doing a second album.
Okay.
But we've been writing for about 6 months and we have 4 songs. Okay. So
wow, they must be long songs.
No, they're not long songs, they're just very fucking complicated.
That doesn't surprise me with you guys. Like, all your songs are like fucking mad,
This is it, like, we're not just straightforward punk, are we? That's the thing. We're a real like mix of different things. So like, nothing we do is straightforward. Everything, like, I mean, Tom likes a right offbeat kind of. He'll throw in a 13 every now and again or something and be like, yeah, just do it, bitch. But like, you know, nothing is quick with us. And I rush a good thing though.
So true. Very nice, very nice. Are you playing any new music tonight, or at Levy?
Yeah,
or
we've got 4 songs to play.
So you're playing all of them. Oh, exciting.
All 4 songs that we've wrote, we're playing.
In the new album.
We've played them twice, 3 times already now, and I don't think I've got them right once.
Sure, be grand. With your hour and 40-minute set.
20 to 1 in the morning, I'm not going to get them right. I can tell you that now.
That's okay. I think at 2 in the morning as well, no one's going to mind.
I don't know
it's
if I'm going
to
remember my name by that point, so...
It's all good, it's all good. That's fine.
We'll write it on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cass.
Yeah. I'm Cat. Nice. And just my last question, really, just to wrap things up, is there anyone that you've seen at MPF that you thought been amazing, or anyone you're really excited about?
Show Crabs just fucking smashed it. it.
Don't they always?
Amelia was literally dying about half an hour ago.
Really?
Stayed up too late last night.
Really?
Came in this morning with glasses on, like, but
Oh.
absolutely smashed it.
Fair.
Incredible.
They did smash it.
Yeah,
good.
they were brilliant. Like, menstrual cups were awesome. I'm really looking forward to watching Risky though.
Is it?
Yeah,
good.
I can't wait to watch Risky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch bands that I've not seen before.
Yeah.
So I'm like plodding along to like. I mean, obviously you always want to support your mates' bands, but also I can see my mates' bands, so
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like
this
trying.
is the time to see new people. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm pottering around and just seeing what I fall into.
Nice. What about you, anyone?
There's been a few that I've really enjoyed so far. Icarus, oh my god,
Really?
Icarus,
Really?
so good.
Where were they? Where did they play?
They were at the Bread Shed last night. We caught the last 10 minutes or so as we were loading in for the DJ set, and oh my goodness.
Really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dead Retinas, another fantastic band.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just hideous riffs.
Yeah.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
I do think, and I want this noted, I think we might be living in Smoking Gives You Big Tits' era.
Yeah, they're gonna go off.
It's things are going to happen, and life won't be quite the same after today. I don't
On
think.
the back of that, actually, I'm really looking forward to their No Doubt set.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I should put an MDMA. No, that's the
No,
wrong way.
they shouldn't.
MDNA.
Do you mean MDNA?
Mixed.
Yeah.
The Madonna
The
band?
The
Madonna
one that you're in,
What am I
see?
in?
The one you're in.
What was that? What were you
should
doing?
mention
Is
it.
there
Oh, there's a Madonna band, I believe.
Is there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Amazing. And when's that happening?
Rumours say that it's Sunday at 11 o'clock at Rebellion. You might want to be there, you might not, that's fine.
I feel
probably
like
should
it's
be
going to
there.
be packed. I think it's going to be absolutely rammed. I was like, there's like a bit of a crossover or something before that, and I was like, yeah, I'll go, but also I don't think I'm going to get in. I think it's going to be full.
No, it's pretty big capacity, so it should be alright.
We'll see.
Rash Decision as well, oh my
Oh,
god.
they were
I've not
amazing,
seen them
yeah,
in
they were so
years,
good.
and then they just wiped the floor with
Yeah.
everybody out there, that was great.
Yeah, amazing.
They're race anyway, they're fucking good.
Yeah,
Good old grill.
yeah,
The chuggliest riffs.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
When we played in Bristol and Dave from Rash Decision came up to us and just kind of went, those riffs were good, and it's like, if you're getting the nod from someone with a riffing hand like that, it's like, yeah, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I also feel like someone that you might like, Ian, my dear, is have you heard of Linsky? You seen them before?
Oh,
I've yet to have the pleasure.
Okay.
But, and this is an MPRV exclusive, Linsky will be playing Snatchmas in December.
Oh my god. Okay, that's brilliant.
Oh, that's really good, yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, there was
they
a
do
bit...
clash with us.
Do they?
Just they
Yeah,
overlap.
they do. Yeah, so that's
I
why
might
we
try and
can't
do half
see
and
them.
half.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a bit before Danny Barrett's YouTube thing yesterday where it was me, B, Joe from Snatch Game, and Cy from Rash Decision. We called it Punk Rock Loose Women.
Oh, I love it. That's brilliant. That's so good.
That's on
Yeah.
point,
No,
yeah.
Linsky are amazing, and I was thinking like Snatch Game, kind of, you know,
Yeah,
kind of
Snatch Game
similar
vibes in it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, cool. And what about you, my dear? Anyone that you've seen that's blown your mind or that you're excited about seeing?
I have to echo. Fuck, I can't remember what they're called now.
Rash Decision.
Dead Retinas.
Dead Retinas.
They were
yeah.
fucking amazing last
Yeah.
night. I've seen them a few times, but that was just
It was good.
pure brutality.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Corrupt Vision were ace as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Nice getting in the hardcore. Yeah, sick. Right, that's all I have for you, beautiful people. That's been lovely. Thanks for coming and having a chat, and I'll see you guys at the front somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah?
Always.
Nice one, guys.
Always
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah. Nice.